Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Today we'll be finding out about the upcoming Concert Chorale performance from Diane Orlofsky to talk a little about what's going on in Concert Chorale. So thank you for joining us and tell us a little about this performance. It's going to be an interesting performance, right?
This is a very unique program. I've taken only 5 different texts and I have found different composers' views and settings of those texts. So you could have a text that was set with Gregorian chant, and you could have the same text that's been set by a contemporary composer with contemporary sounds. It's pretty unique.
It's going to be interesting. So it sounds like possibly a challenge for the audience maybe to maybe get used to hearing these in different ways. Well, is that going to be something you're going to be able to pull off?
I think so. The title of the concert is Perspectives. And so basically in their program notes, we're going to be guiding them through the process, kind of explaining how the pieces are different and why they may be different and why a particular composer chose to set it that way. And
so what made you think that this is something you wanted to take on? Because obviously this doesn't seem like the normal type, I guess, song selection for something like this.
Right. So. I was talking with a colleague, and we were both talking about how fun that would be to do a concert that way, and it got me thinking, well, maybe we can do that. And it fell together very easily.
And so, but for the audience member, you said you're going to guide them along, but is it going to be noticeable that they've heard the same text in a different setting?
Perhaps.
Is it going to be something they're going to be able to catch on, like, oh, I heard this earlier?
I think so. When you hear Glory to God in the highest done 3 different ways, you get it. You get it.
And now the concert itself, you talked about the doing the different texts in the different styles, but how many songs does that end up turning into across the entire performance?
Typically, an hour-long choir concert might have between 11 and 12 songs, and that's pretty much what we've done here as well. We have a guest choir.
Okay.
Oxford High School is bringing their top choir, and they're going to be singing with us on one of the numbers and doing a number. So we traditionally do this every fall as a recruiting tool, and to get really fine young high school singers with our singers, we find that that's a really wonderful experience.
Well, and not to mention, it gives an opportunity. You mentioned recruiting, but it just opens their eyes to what the next level of choral performance is. Even if it's not Troy, you may have someone thinking, this is where I can go to the next level.
Right, and one of my colleagues is singing on the concert, so that gets them to hear what our voice faculty would be like, and another colleague is playing the piano and the organ, and so they hear that as well. And then Dr. James C., the Montgomery Chorale conductor, is also guest conducting. So it's I like to bring in a lot of people. We like to I share the podium. I think it's richer for our students as well.
And talk a little bit about is the challenge of bringing in a choir at the last minute there, because obviously you work with your choir, they work together last minute. It's got to be an interesting dynamic there, right there at the last minute.
It's a leap of faith. And you know that they're well prepared coming in, and so if you do your job, it should come together seamlessly.
We'll talk about where it's going to be, because the venue, I know for you, makes all the difference in the world in these concerts.
It does, and we typically use Bush Baptist Church, and we are again, because it allows our singers to be up close with the audience. It is Sunday, November 5th. The concert starts at 2:30, and like I said, it will probably be about an hour.
Now, traditionally these concerts are free, and this concert is free, but there's a bit of a catch, a little bit of a catch.
If you've been around me long enough in the last few months to know, we're fundraising. The group has been invited to perform at Carnegie Hall in May of 2018, and so we're going to ask for donations if people want to donate. We're also going to thank those that have donated thus far.
And that's part of this concert. You're going to recognize individuals that have given to this
already
effort,
to this worthwhile cause, and so our kids are busy fundraising. This is one more extension, and it's also a great opportunity for people to come and see what they're investing in, to listen to this group that's going to go to a very prestigious national stage and represent Troy University and the School of Music as well.
And of course, and not to mention, you might encourage some of the other audience members, if they see who's given, to maybe open up their wallets and help things out too.
If you hear these kids sing, you're going to fall in love with them.
And give them the
yeah.
opportunity to sing
I think so.
at the bigger stage.
I
So
think
once
so.
again, before we go, when and where?
November 5th. It's a Sunday afternoon. It starts at 2:30. Seating is rather limited in the church, so I would get there early if I could, if I would, if I was attending. And so at 2:30, and it will be about an hour. And admission is free, but we'll take donations.
Take some
gladly.
donations there. So, well, good luck with the concert and with the rest of the fundraising on
Thank
the trip.
you.
I'm sure
Thank you.
you'll be back here again to talk a
will.
little bit more about that in the future. Thanks for
We will.
joining us today.
Thanks.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk.